Okay, in the final video of this series, we are going to talk about retargeting. Retargeting is really the name of the game when it comes to Facebook ads, and it's a little bit more of a complex topic. But now that if you've watched all the videos, if you've implemented a lot of these strategies with the various different ad types, retargeting is really going to allow you to really see how the whole thing can come together into a system. So let's just dive in. So traditional retargeting, it's also called remarketing, works kind of this way. And this is kind of, when retargeting started, this is how people always thought about it. Like you'd have a potential customer, they would come to your website and they left and they didn't buy anything. This is kind of like a traditional e-commerce funnel. Like say you go to Amazon and you go to your shopping, but you haven't really made a decision yet. So you leave Amazon and you don't actually buy anything. And then when you go back to and you're on Facebook, lo and behold, you see an ad for the exact product that you were looking at on Amazon. That recaptures your interest and brings you back to Amazon, and then, and so you buy something. Well, what I want you to pay attention to here is they visit your website. Well, with Facebook, what Facebook enables you to do with custom audiences is it really allows you to put this entire process on steroids to where you're not just limited. I mean, you can do website visits. That's the one, in the top left. And if you watch the pixel video, hopefully you already set up your Facebook pixel on your website and your landing pages. Yes, you can absolutely retarget or start showing ads to people who visited your website but didn't buy a ticket or didn't take the action you wanted them to take. But that's just the tip of the iceberg, which is if they view your video a certain percentage of time. I usually like to go maybe 50% or more. So if you have a music video or a promotional video that's 3 or 4 minutes long, they watch a couple minutes, 2-3 minutes of it, they're probably pretty interested in your band, and you can start taking those people and you can show them additional ads or additional content. If they visit your Instagram profile, you can start showing them ads on Facebook. Obviously if they fill out your lead ad form, or even if they just look at the form and they don't fill it out, you can retarget those people. If they go to your events page, if they've, and that would be another good one. So like I've mentioned before, I think you should set up events for every single gig that you ever have. Well, there's a lot of people that might go to your events page and they don't click interested or going or that type of thing, but they go to the page, or they do click interested or something like that. Then you can retarget those people with ads. The instant experience, that's not one that we didn't really go over. That's not one that I'm really crazy about. It's called a canvas ad. The Facebook page, if they go to your Facebook page, and even if they just go there and they look at you but they don't really do anything, they don't like your page, they don't follow you, you can still send ads to those people. So let's talk about how that might work. So this is going to get in a little bit more sort of marketing psychology, but I think it's really important that you understand sort of the big picture with this before we get into the specifics of how to set this all up. So the funnel methodology is just a line of thinking that there's a lot of people that are out there. There's a whole world of people who have never heard of your band. So say in your target market or any market you're going to, especially like we're going into Boca Raton as a brand new market for us, never set foot in Boca Raton, so nobody's ever heard of us, right? And so they're not aware of our band. And so in that case, when we might run an ad, we consider them to be at the top of the funnel. We have to make them aware that we even exist, right? And so the thing that we wouldn't want to do is we wouldn't run an ad about our gig, to just a bunch of people who had never heard of us. I mean, we could do that, and we may get some sales out of it for people that are just like hyper interested in our type of music. But most of the time, you have to warm them up, right? And so we could go after interest targeting. We could go after people who are, fans of Earth, Wind, and Fire, or fans of funk music, and all those types of different interest targeting. We could also do lookalike audiences, which I talked about, we've set up in a few of the other videos. I really like to use lookalike audiences because you're really harnessing the power of the Facebook algorithm to figure it out for you. you don't have to second guess what types of people are into your music or into your videos, or might be interested in coming to your events, because Facebook over time will learn who your most ideal prospect is and create lookalike audiences of those people. Now, our job in that situation is really just to interest them in our content. And I really believe that as bands, the best content that we can provide are videos. It's worked for us. Like, I think it's just great to, a video is probably one of the best or good performing promotional videos or music videos are the best type of content that you can have as a band. Now, one other thing that you could do is that you can set up, if you're trying to move people. So basically the idea with the funnel is you're trying to move people from the top of the funnel to where they're completely unaware of your band to now into where they're the middle of the funnel. So what actions could they take that would indicate that now they're aware? Well, in that case, it could be if they watched 50% of your video. Or another one might be Facebook Lives. Like, you could do a live video of you playing music, or you could just do a live video of you, talking to the camera, talking whatever you might interest people, or you playing an acoustic guitar or piano or something and singing whatever, and and you could use that as content as well, and Facebook will track that, and now that moves them into the middle of the funnel. You can also set it up to where you can create custom audiences of people who have engaged with your ads. So say you just have an image ad, but you've got a really cool image ad, or you've got a carousel, a bunch of different images, and they've liked or commented or shared. So now those people have now moved completely unaware to now they're aware. They're aware of your band. They're not necessarily fans of your band, but they're aware of it. And through whatever actions they took, now they've moved to the middle of the funnel. Okay, once they've reached the middle of the funnel, what do you do with them? Well, hopefully at that point, your next step would be, what can we do to get them to visit our website or visit our landing page? Obviously you want them to buy, but maybe you're not quite going for that yet. Maybe you want to give them some sort of free content, like we've set up before. We set up the lead ad to get people to download our music for free. Maybe we just want to get them to visit our Facebook page or like our page. That would be the next step, right? So say, in this case, so we could run as top of the funnel, we could run a video ad, but then with the next one that they see could be just a like ad, right? We just want them to like our Facebook page, which indicates more interest. So we're just kind of moving them along, moving them closer to the sale. Or if we can even do the same, try to get them to visit our Instagram page, or like our, follow us on Instagram. And we could also, like, if we could, send ads to people who, if they've opened our lead ad form, maybe they filled out the form, maybe they didn't, but we can still track that with Facebook. It's pretty amazing. And then we could try to get them to move to the next step. Say we set up an event, they go to the page. Well, the fact is, again, keeping in mind how this is working, at the top of the funnel, if you put out an event, they may show some interest in that, but chances are good if they're just, looking at your video and they look, that's cool, they've watched 50% of it. Well, say you go ahead and you run an ad about your event coming up. They just go to the page. They're not buying tickets yet, but they're kind of snooping around. They're like, this looks interesting. I kind of like this band. I might be interested in going and see them. Well, that means they're still sort of in the middle of the funnel. So our job to move them to the bottom of the funnel is we want them to become Facebook fans, because once they've become fans of our page, that's a pretty good indicator that they're at the bottom of the funnel. Now they're sort of in the boat, or if they're an Instagram follower. And then of course, once they've purchased tickets, they've kind of reached the ultimate goal of our campaign, which is to get them to make the purchase. And that's where because ultimately we're transactional, right? We want people to have transactions. And then you can take this even further, and once they've reached the bottom of the funnel, they've purchased tickets, they've come to your show, they follow you on Facebook. Now it could be the next step of trying to get them, obviously, to come to more shows. It could be to purchase merch from you, to if you're going to sell CDs, vinyl, whatever you're going to do. Again, keep in mind at the top of the funnel, the chance of selling somebody a T-shirt or a hat for your merch, people that have never heard of your band, it's not even feasible, right? It'd be a fool's errand to do that. But once they're at the bottom of the funnel, they're your fans, they've purchased tickets, they've come to your shows before, that's when they're more likely to purchase your merch and all that. So it's really just a process of bringing them from the top of the funnel down. Okay, so here's an idea of a top of funnel strategy for a brand new market. So, and we're actually, this happens all the time because we're trying to expand our band. We're trying to, I'm going to use Boca Raton as an example, but just today, we booked a new gig up in, oh gosh, up north somewhere. So we've played up there a little bit, but not a lot. So this is a strategy that we could follow in every new market. And then of course, if you're just now new to Facebook ads, you can use this. This is be one way to make this happen. So the first thing we would do is I would run a video ad. I would probably go ahead and I really like lead ads because lead ads give me the opportunity to do a lot of things. I can capture their email address to get the free music. Now, in this case, if you don't have any free music to give away, or if that's just not the way you would do it, you could still run a video views ad with the sheer intention of getting people to watch your video up to 50% because you have the next step in mind. Now I'm going to put the offer on it because I like to get a little bit more bang for my buck and go ahead and get people to download our music so I can build an email list. And of course, if you watch the Facebook Messenger video, you know that we could also build a messenger list. Same concept, you're trying to build a list, but at the same time, you can get people to watch your ads and you can start retargeting them if they watch over 50% of the video. Okay, so then the next step in the phase would be if people then have watched our video up to 50%, and of course if they fill out the form or engage with us on Facebook Messenger, I want to turn around and run a like ad in front of them. Now I might use the same video that I have in the like ad. I might actually run a different video just to give them a little taste of something different. And again, if you don't have a video, you could run an image ad, but just put something in front of them that's cool, that looks cool, and just to get them to like your page, because that's moving them closer to the sale, right? Okay, and then finally would be the conversion ad. So like in the case of Boca Raton, we are actually selling tickets to that show. So I will then start showing ads to people who have watched 50%. I'll go ahead and show ads to them, but I'm certainly going to start, I'm going to run ads to people who have liked our page like I always would. But I have a process of now, why are they going to like our page? Well, because they watched that first video, right? So we're kind of going down the funnel here. And we're putting them into the middle of the funnel. Now they're aware of our band. Maybe they've liked our page, maybe they haven't, but they've had some type of engagement. So as part of those conversions ads, I can run those ads in front of people who have visited our landing page or visited our website. Maybe they happen to click on, maybe they just went to Google and typed in our name of our band to find our website. I don't know, but maybe they visited our Facebook page, maybe they liked it, maybe they didn't. But again, through the custom audiences we can build, we can start running this conversion ad in front of people who went to our page. And people who went to our Instagram page, of course, we can run it in front of them as well. We can visit anybody who visited our event page. Say they went to our Facebook page and they happen to look at events. So we can start targeting those people with the ad to get them to buy tickets. And if you're not selling tickets to a show, you can still do the same thing with just getting people to come to your gig, right? And then, of course, anybody who has engaged with our ads, they've liked, commented, or share our ad. If it was any of these ads up here at the top, if it's a like ad, if it was the original video ad that we showed, we can then show them the conversion ads. So this is the idea of a simple funnel, but we're hitting people from all different angles, and really everything hinges around the custom audiences. Okay, with custom audiences, you just want to go to up here, and then under assets, it's under audiences. And to create these audiences, you just click on here, custom audience, and we'll go ahead. We know we have the website traffic one already set up. I'm going to start with this one down here, the video. So I'm going to say people who have viewed at least 50%. So I know it's this Love Shine video right here. So that's what I would want to set up. And then people have watched at least 50% of this particular video in the past 365 days. I'll probably just leave it at that. And then I'm going to say watch Love Shine video and then create audience. And that's all I'm going to do there. So, okay, the next one we want to set up would be our they visited our landing page. So now, unfortunately, with this particular gig that we have in Boca, somebody else is doing the landing page. That the club actually has their own landing page, and without our Facebook pixel installed on their landing page, there's really not a way that we can track that, unfortunately. So I'm just going to then go ahead and just say visit Facebook page, where we'll set up those audiences. So Facebook page, who engaged with your page in the last 365 days. I'm going to say engage with your page. Anyone who visited your page. So I'm going to say visited Funk Facebook page. Create that audience. Okay. And then I'm just going to keep going. Visited the Instagram page, Instagram business profile. I'm going to use Reverend Barry and the Funk. Anyone who visited your business profile, we're going to call this Funk page visitors. I should probably say properly say profile. That, and then visited the event page. So we're going to do events, spawned or interested. Okay, got to use the right page, and then specific events. Let's say Boca, Reverend Barry at the Funky Biscuit. So I'm going to call this FB, let's see, Funk. I'm just going to say Funky Biscuit, August. Okay, Funky Biscuit, August. I'm going to create that audience. And then engage with ads and form. Well, I don't really have the ads set up yet, or the form, so I can't really set that one up yet. But I think you get to the general idea. So, okay, so now I have all these audiences set up. And then as I start, I go in, I set up the initial video ad with the lead ad and everything. And then I can set up the next phase. I can run a like ad to people who have watched, right, over 50% of the Love Shine video, because that's the one we're going to run. So as we start running ads in that market, then Facebook is going to start calculating, okay, those people watch 50% of the video, so then they're going to show them the like ad, right? And then I'll go ahead and also, when I create the ad to send traffic to the ticketing page, I will show it to, of course, everybody who's watched over 50% and anybody who's liked our page. And then I'll also show it to everybody who fits this profile. And I'll know that I'll do it all within a 20 square mile radius of the Boca Raton, or actually of the venue. I can actually pull the venue's address up, and I can just, do a 20 square mile radius around the venue. So as people start engaging with our content and that video and start liking our page and all that, of those people that start doing that, there's really, in a way, they're going to just start getting bombarded by what I'm doing there in Boca. They're going to see us all the time in their feed and be like, they'll be thinking like, man, this band is just all over the place. Every time I come on Facebook, they're all over me. That's because we're really just because we have a strategy, and the strategy doesn't have to be expensive. In fact, it's very narrow because we're just going after people who fit this profile. But it all starts here at the top of the funnel of showing, of getting it out to people. Again, we would start this by using the lookalike audience of people who have responded to our videos and stuff in our ads in the past, and we should start getting some really good people who are interested, and this system works really well. Okay, to just bring this all together to show you how this would work, I'm just going to create a quick campaign. So say I wanted to run a like ad to people who had already watched 50% of the video. So the people who would, just assume that I've already set up the top of the funnel video, and if you want to review how I would do that, just go back to the video views, video, or even the image ad video. So I would do engagement, and if I wanted to get them to like my page, I would do page likes. Of course, I would name the campaign. I'm not going to go through all the steps. I'm just going to show you basically what I would do. So, of course, we would choose the page, and then with my audience, what I would do is I would come over here to custom audience that we just built, watch Love Shine video. Okay, so, and then I would do, we just want to do this in the, for this particular gig, like I mentioned, we're playing Boca Raton. We're going to do like a 20 square mile radius because that's where I'm running all the ads. So I don't really care about any of this. I'm going to get rid of all this stuff because, again, it's just people who have watched the Love Shine video at 50%. I know that's what that is, although I probably should have named it 50%. And then they're in a 20 square mile radius. I don't even really need to set the 8. I mean, well, as a standard practice, I do want to do it over 21. And then after that, that's pretty much it. And then I would set my budget and all that, but that's how I would target, and then I would create the actual like ad. Now, we haven't started running this yet, so it's not, we don't have any kind of reach yet. So you just basically just set up this system. Okay, so now what if I wanted to do another type? So if I want to set up the conversion ad to people who had liked our page or to someone who had watched our video, then I would just come in here and I would do a conversions. Of course, I would need to have my pixel set up on the landing page where we're selling the tickets in order to do an actual conversion ad. So in the case with the Boca Raton gig, since we're not going to have access to their ticketing page, I would not be able to do a conversion ad. I can still send traffic to their landing page, and I would do that through maybe a video views ad most likely. But just assuming like with our normal events, like where we're actually selling tickets, sending it to an event page, I would set up that pixel. And then, but the important thing is, where am I going to get the traffic? Who am I going to send to? Well, again, I'm going to go back to this custom audience, and I'm going to do watch the Love Shine video, and then I'm also going to do, I would have to set up a separate. If I want to just send to people who like our page, I would have to set up a separate ad set, because if I did, people in Boca Raton, of people who watch the Love Shine video, and I want to also run it towards people who like the page, if I do people who like the page here, this is only going to show the ad to people who like our page who also watched 50% of the video. So you would need to set up separate ad sets. So I wouldn't want to do that. I would just want to basically how I would do it is I would set this up. I would set up the entire thing, start the ad, and then I would duplicate the ad or the ad set basically, and just come in and modify it. I would just come in and remove this watch, love, shine video criteria, and I would just run it to people who like the page. And then, of course, if you want to do any of these other things, like people who had visited the landing page, people who had visited the Facebook page, all that criteria is going to be found up here in the custom audience area. See, it's all just right there. Visited the Facebook or visited the Facebook page, and you can do multiple criteria as well. You just need to think when you do it, is anything going to conflict with each other? So event page visitors, we would want to have all that. So it's basically you can do multiple audiences. So I hope that makes sense in the way that you would set up the retargeting. But it's really the key thing is just understanding the overall funnel strategy and how that works. And then, thinking through, okay, I want to show them the video, and then I want to get them to like the page. I want to, maybe give them opportunity to download something for free if you have something to download, and then just kind of warm them up. And then another great thing that you can do to really kind of bonus all this, and it doesn't cost you anything, is Facebook Lives. Doing those, because anytime somebody likes your page, they're going to get a notice that you went live, and it's good to create engagement with your audience. They get to know you as a person. That's going to be more interesting to people that have liked your page and are already interested in your band. But I always think Facebook Lives are a great thing to do in addition to all of the ads. So I hope you've enjoyed this course. I hope you've learned some things, and more importantly, I hope you implement what you've learned, and let me know how it's going. Thank you.